Hello, my name is Evan James, and this is going to be my little tutorial walkthrough for how I did my sound redesign for the Borderlands 3 Blipsounds February 2021 contest. And I'm not going to enter into the contest because I used a couple of samples from the Weaponizer plugin library for this, but it was more an exercise for me just to use Reaper and familiarize myself with some of the changes in Weaponizer 1.4, and for that purpose I would say I had a lot of fun and learned quite a bit. So I'll show you how I did it. So the gun charging sound effect is two instances of a plugin called the Riser, which is what it sounds like. It's a plugin that creates rising SFX or falling SFX, and in this case I just shrunk them way down and edited the depth and the shape and some of the modulation on it to sort of match the animation of the charge for the shot of the gun. And then once it came for the bullet sound effects, the actual gunshots, it's a couple of things. The onset is two instances of an AK-47 single shot, just for a little variance there. But the main sound that I want to play for you guys is the body, because obviously this gun has sort of an acidic, sort of liquid shot type, and I wanted it to have that sort of like hot lava, acid type gun sound to it that really fit the animations and the visual aspects of the gun. So the sound that I found that I really wanted to use for that is this grass boot, kind of a puddle sound effect almost, which you'll hear here. I primarily layered that with a synthesizer to give it that sort of energy sound effect as well. But it wouldn't be complete without the tail, and my tail is the sound of an e-cigarette being smoked, so it has sort of that bubbling, crisp sound effect, almost like the shots you fire are boiling on the ground in front of you, and it plays as a tail obviously at the end of the sound effect, so when you're done firing it sounds like there's heat being dispersed from the gun, and you know, it's losing some of that heat energy coming off of it with perhaps steam or some hot air. So all together this is what it sounds like, and I'll play it for you from here. So if we were doing this in something like Wise, we would want to figure out what the specific fire rate of the gun is and have that programmed into the game essentially, so that we're matching that perfectly. For the purposes of this linear redesign, I just matched it by eye as close as I felt like was appropriate, roughly to the rate of fire, and then it also afforded me the flexibility to do some of this randomization at the end, where when the gun gets toward the end of the clip it starts firing a little more slowly, a little more heavily, and the shots get a little more erratic. So I was able to mimic some of that with the MIDI pattern, and altogether it looks and sounds like this. Obviously the reload sound effect is a couple of different things, one of which is a hydraulic press sound, but I have it shrunk way down and modulated a little bit, and it sort of mimics the sound of that gun popping apart. I also have some chest drawers opening, closing that are compressed and edited spatially so that they sound like the gun cartridges or compartments are opening or closing. And in this case I also have sort of a metallic sliding sound effect, which is meant to mimic the magazine. Altogether, again, it sounds like this.